So yeah, here we go. Like, here's some Hex girls for you. I don't know really, like,
What I want to know
yeah.
is where do you think this is going with Hex Girls?
Where's it going?
Yeah.
Well, the Hex girls Twitter said something a while back. I don't know if I can find it. But it said that Hex girls is the solution to the tragedy of the commons.
Okay.
And women are the most well-connected people on the planet. Beautiful women are the most well-connected people on the planet. And so they're going to be the ones getting paid in Hex.
Okay.
They're going to be the ones wearing all the paraphernalia and everything, saying, look, if you want to tip me, if you want to pay me, if you like what's going on, like, you can get you some Hex and you can tip me and pay me in Hex. And now they're onboarded onto Hex. This is the solution to the tragedy of the commons. So, and that strategy by Richard, like, we don't understand how brilliant that is.
It really is.
Like, we don't understand how powerful that is. But that is, it seems slow going. I don't see much, change happening here. But behind the scenes, and as things are ramping up and as things move forward, I think this could be a big deal. They're not trying to see Hex, leveraging every single advantage that Richard has thought to leverage and build into an immutable system, complete system, with Hex girls on top of it. They don't know, they don't see it yet, man. They people in crypto, man, they got a lot of work to do to see where this is going.
I agree.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, I don't know who is this? What?
Miss Patriot.
What?
2021.
She's new, I think. I don't know. There's a web chat. Main Hex. There's a web chat. I'm not gonna find it. I'll go somewhere else. But yeah, this is Crypto Model T Max on Twitter. I'm on Twitter quite a bit. I'm tweeting quite a bit. And if anyone wants a quick and dirty on all of the powerful ways that Hex is moving, like my best thinking on how to sum it up for you, right? You should come here and go through my feed, because it's all here. Like, it hits you with why Hex is the opportunity of a lifetime in 6 minutes, and then anything that I feel like is relevant when a Hex stake matures and I collect my trustless interest. Guess what? I don't have to sell Hex for more competitive mining equipment and electricity. Hex pays you in store value mining equipment, also known as Hex. There's a lot behind that tweet. There's, but that's a good place to start to get a sense of, hey, I'm mining crypto trustlessly for free from my cold storage wallet. Like, if you're in crypto and that doesn't hit you some kind of way, then you need to pay attention. Like, there's a lot happening behind that tweet. From my cold storage wallet, I'm mining crypto. What's this trustlessly word mean? I don't understand that yet. I'm new to crypto. That's a big word, right? For free, no electricity, from my cold storage wallet. That's how we're mining crypto in Hex right now. And we didn't even get to add a store of value, because Hex is a store of value. We're competing on the store of value level. That is a whole nother category of, oh shit, like this, like, we can appreciate store of value level. Yeah, that's Hex. So, I mean, and then the community is just growing. Hexologists streaming. Like, people don't understand how this comes together. You know, like how all of this comes together. Here's another great community member. Hex is complete in two ways. It's finished, auditable, audited, working, immutable law. This is a whole different category. Okay? Immutable law. These people who are writing code are the new barristers of our age. They're the new lawmakers of our time. Like Jefferson, Washington, everything like that. They wrote the Constitution. Those are just words written down on paper. That's a big deal. And we made it work for the past 250 years, and it lit the world on fire, right? Decentralized power lit the world on fire for the past 250 years. This is immutable. These laws are immutable, right? And so not only are they laws on the books, but they're laws that when we opt into freely saying, hey, we're going to buy Hex now and participate in Hex, because I know these laws are immutable. There's no back doors. There's no admin keys or anything like that. And I know I can't break the law, and you know you can't break the law. Right. And this is just the complete financial system of Hex that we're getting into to participate in. And we understand it's immutable. That's what that points to, immutable law. Hex is finished, audited, working, immutable law. Audited. We tried to break the code, and we couldn't break it. That's how it passed audit. Finished, audited, working, immutable law. It's complete in another way that it's a complete and total standalone, self-reliant financial system for earning passive income via trustless interest in a store of value currency. It's meant to be like Bitcoin. It's meant to be, it appreciates. It's meant to appreciate. You lock your value up in your labor, your money up in Hex, and you understand that the supply is getting staked away daily, minute by minute. Anyone can stake that 1 million or 5 million or 100 million Hex away for the next 15 years, and then it's gone. You don't have access. If you lock Hex away for 15 years and you think next year you're going to try to get to it, you don't get to it. It's gone. You know, anything that's locked away 10 years is out of your reach for the next 5, period. Right? And so that's the store value part. We're locking the supply away. It's not there yet, but eventually, in a year or two from now, when another 10, 15, 20, 30 billion Hex gets locked away for 10, 15 years, what happens to the price then? Right? So,
interesting things.
You know, this Twitter is for that. And it's my best thinking wrapped up in a tweet as powerfully as I can make it, packaged into a tweet, designed for ads so that I can copy paste into people's threads and just advertise. It's designed for that. If you're new to Twitter and you want to start shilling, then you just start shilling about Hex, and you have to. What I want to do is, if I see that you're new, I'll go through your feed and read what you're saying, and then if you, I will retweet something that's in your own words. You put it in your own words, and you're talking about Hex, I will follow you and then retweet you to all of the people,
right? So
that they understand. Oh, there's a new person here, to welcome you. You know, that's what I'll do. And you can talk about whatever you want to talk about. This, you know, like, and if you want to, however you want to express what Hex means to you, we want you. We need you. This is an organically grown community that this is the only way it's going to grow. This is designed to grow this way, right. But this is the only way it's going to grow. So, yeah. And then the F and Hangout, RG3, he's a legend. You got to follow him every Friday night. You're new to Hex. You wanna get on. You want to jump on his live stream every Friday night from like 10 p.m. Sometimes it goes 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. It goes 3-4 hours. Last Friday, Richard Hart just jumped on halfway through and rode out for like 2.5 hours or something like that.
Yes, he did.
So like this is an app, and this is only getting stronger. The Hex community is a revolution in organizing organically grown, grassroots grown communities. They just don't see it yet. Everything about Hex is a fucking revolution, period. That's like how I see it. So we've got people talking about it. This dude, Johnny Chaos, you got to follow him. He's always he's helping me organize my thoughts around Hex. Okay, that's this person. He's amazing. Yeah. And so just go through the Twitter, just skim through it, and it will, if things will pop out to you, they're designed to. I want to make it so where like you don't have to do 6 months worth of research to get into Hex. Like, I'm going to cut all those corners for you and get you up to speed as fast as possible. And if you want to reach out to me and talk to me, you can at t.me/crypto model T max on Telegram. That's the only way, or Twitter if you want to talk to me, but I'll one-on-one with you, Telegram, and forward you everything that I can forward you to help you get oriented and situated around this financial system that's complete, locked, and audited, so that you understand, because there is a learning curve. Rabbit hole, go deep. There's a real serious learning curve, and I want to get into some of that. I want to talk about what this share rate means, and help y'all understand what it is that you're neglecting by not being staked by November 19th. You're really, really missing out on some stuff here. And so let's talk about that real quick.
Let's go.
So what I want to do now is I want to go into the HEX contract and explain real quick how T-shares work, what they do, and I'm just going to turn this on. I think that's the password. Nope. This is just the demo. Okay. So it's unlocked. There's some stakes. But what I want to show you is, like, we're going to do like a real simple, quick and dirty about what staking 10,000 hex, which is what, $20 or $30 or something like that right now,
right,
for the maximum, which is a Quattro Cinco stake or a 5-5-5-5 stake, and how that actually can play out, right? Because I think the first, like the whole concept of a CD ladder was confounding to me for months. Mm-hmm. It's like, do I want a 5-year CD ladder? Do I want a 6-year CD ladder? Like, do I want to just keep, restaking out that way? But if you look at the max level of strategy that's in the Hex system, mm-hmm. the most, you can't stake for 5,556 days. You have to wait a day to stake that, right? So, but let's start out with 10,000 hex, right? And what this is telling you right now is you've got 10,000 hex in there, and what it's giving you right now off the rip is almost 1 trillion shares. But this thing tells you that a T share is 10,924 hex.
Yes. And
what's that about? Well, that only goes up. That's a whole separate conversation. We ain't going there right yet. But that only goes up. This is immutable in the Hex contract. Has nothing to do with the market price of Hex whatsoever. All right? This has everything to do with the internal system that is locked and immutable, and that is the rate that you get when you stake Hex, and this rate only goes up. So if I want to stake 10,000 hex for a day, it's telling me that that's what I'm going to get. If I want to stake it for 12 days, you see that it goes up a bit, right? If I want to stake it for 120 days, you see that it goes up a bit, right? Mm-hmm. But if I want to stake for 365 days, right, we're getting 1 T-share plus 20%. Right? Mm-hmm. So if we wanted to stake for, well, it's not 20% because it needs to be, if it were 11,000 shares, it would be 20% because we have to stake 10,924. So let's do 11 real quick. So we see that we're a little bit over 20% because we have to stake more hex for longer. That's what the share rate is forcing you to understand, that the best time to stake hex will always be right now. Yeah. Always, because the share rate that you get when you stake hex only goes up, and it goes up almost daily, right? So we're at 1.2 t-shirts now. If we do 10 years, 3,650 days, right? We realize that we get 3 t-shares, 0.2. We get a little bit of a bigger pays better. That's nothing. Okay, so that's the share rate. So let's see. And then if we go, and then after 10 years, those benefits stop accumulating. But from year 10 to year 15, the value in staking past 10 years is you get to hold on to that share rate for an extra 5 years. And there's some magic there. There's some real serious magic in holding on to that share rate for an extra 5 years. Let me tell you, because when you go to 10 years from now, I'm forecasting. So me and my Nostradamus freaking magic ball
let's go,
is telling you that, because I'm going to show you how I'm right, is on the last week or two of that 10-year stake, you're gonna think to yourself, I don't want to end this. I'm making so much hex right now, day in and day out, that if I could just extend this stake for another 2 or 3 weeks, I would. But you can't. You made the commitment.
Right.
You locked in those share rate for that time. You have the freedom to stake hex for a day or 5,555 days. And you made the commitment. And now it's time for you to end your stake on time and stop diluting the share pool, and so that other people who are in this system can benefit from the system. And that's how it works. So that is part of it. But let's do this math real quick. Let's understand that we stake 11,000 hex for 10 years. Let's go 5,555 and watch that this share rate doesn't change when we up the date. Still the same.
Right.
That's the max level that you can stake. All right. Let's do some math here real quick. All right. So the math we're going to do is we're going to pull up this calculator and we're going to get out of that. All right. And I want to show you this chart real quick. Okay. Now, this is modeling what Hex is about to do.
Okay.
Okay. And we're going to focus on this real quick. This is saying that at BigPayDay, right around day 350, that's day 400, the amount of hex per T-share that you're going to get is going to jump from about 5 or 6 to 12 off the rip. It's going to jump up to 12. And there's a reason for that, and I'm not going to get into that right now. But as time goes, at some point, right around between 2,000 and 3,000 days, you're going to get 100 hex per T-shares. And somewhere between 3,000 and 4,000 days, you're going to get potentially 2,000 hex per T-share. And right around before day 4,000, you're going to get 300 hex per T-share. So let's do an average. Let's do a conservative average of 100. 100 hex per T-share from the beginning of your stake to 5,555. That's the calculation that we're doing right now. All right. So we're saying that we've got 11,000 hex, but that gives us 3 T-shares. And T-shares are more important than hex because this is how you get paid every single day in hex. If you've got 100 T-shares, if you've got 1,000 T-shares, if you got whatever, this is how you get paid. But let's see, we can only secure 3 T-shares for 15 years and see how that rides out. Okay. All right. So for this little $30 commitment, right, we're just kissing it goodbye, 5,555 days, we get 3 T-shares. All right. So let's do 3 times 100 times 0.5555. And that is 1.666 million 500 hex. Okay. Your 11,000 hex, right, has been accruing with this T-share rate. As this share rate gets more and more rare,
Yes, it does.
right? 15 years from now, it might take 1 million hex to lock up for for a couple thousand days to get 3 T-shares. We're so early. In crypto that the early bird gets the worm,
Yes, they do.
right? So, and hex is at the bare bones bottom. You're stupid if you don't take the time to set up annual stakes. This is why the CD ladder is simple to me now, because there's only 15 years that we can stake. So the minimum is once a year, right? That's how get that out the way. 1 year, one stake per year, going out 15 years. That keeps us in the game for 15 years, right? And it doesn't take much energy, according to a conservative estimate of what these T-shares will probably be paying out daily. And now, as Hex has been appreciating for 15 years, Bitcoin's only been appreciating for 10 years.
Right.
Okay. That's store of value cryptocurrency modeled after store of value principles with only 2 store of value pumpamentals built in, right? Hex has like 3 or 4 pumpamentals. Game theory level pumpamentals built in. And what it's telling you is, if you believe in Hex early on at the beginning and you stake any amount of Hex basically for 15 years for the max stake, this is what you could be walking into 15 years from now. Now, after Hex has been appreciating for 15 years, I don't know what that's going to be worth. I have no idea. But here's what I'm telling you. You made a proper bet.
Yes.
You made a righteous hedge, because Hex is its main exchange is the decentralized exchange, where liquidity is there for you to buy and sell, and it doesn't they can't it will exist. That Uniswap exchange will be here 15 years from now, because it's just code. It's not Binance that could crash and burn. That's a centralized exchange. All these other exchanges they're centralized exchanges. Your money's at risk, and you don't custody your money. When you stake 11,000 Hex for the max time in Hex on your wallet trustlessly, you've custodied it. You've taken possession of it, and you're mining crypto trustlessly from your wallet, from your cold storage wallet.
Which is amazing.
That's an absolute revolution, right? And I know if you're in crypto, and if you've been in crypto for any amount of time and you just heard what I said, you know that I'm telling the truth. You know that there's something more to this, and it's not just a scam, because that's what all of crypto has been saying from day one for the past 10 months. And we've seen Sushi come and go. We've seen Yam come and go. We've got Pancake Coin. All these nonsense DeFi coins coming and going, and all these exchanges putting them up as they gatekeep this absolute revolution. They call it a scam. They say it's a shitcoin. It's not. It's really not. So you're being lied to. They are censoring Hex for their benefit, not for yours. All right. So, and for this opportunity is still available to you after November 20th, but after November 20th, the share rate is going to explode, because we can see that here at Hex.vision. We can see what the share rate, when the share rate's going to go up. Hex is the most transparent cryptocurrency in the world. And this website that some nice Hexican put together for us can show us when the share rate's going to go up, right? Because this is November 20th. And what makes the share rate go up? Ending stakes. So when all of this Hex has to end their stake, receiving the highest return that the Hex system has ever seen, that ratchets the share rate up. And now you have to stake more Hex for longer to get the same share rate. And all of this will receive the highest return on investment the HEX contract has ever seen. Because every day that goes forward is another day of interest, is another day of principal versus ROI versus now it's mature versus it got the big payday and it's been staked for longer, which means that this stake right here could be the highest return that the HEX contract has ever seen, which is going to ratchet the share rate up. And that ratchets it up for everyone. But if you're locked in back here, you got that share rate locked in for 15 years. And that's how we can say, look, you're an early adopter, you got in early, and now you're going to reap the benefits for the next 15 years. Because we didn't stake $30 for 15 years. We staked $30 annually. So we're at least going to see that for the next 15 years every single year. Or the next best thing is semi-annually. Right. And the next best thing is quarterly. And then the next best thing is monthly. That's how you look at a CD ladder from here on out. Right? Forget all the things. Like, everyone has their different strategy and everything, but that is the creme de la creme strategy. If you look at it from that perspective, then you're going to save money ending stakes. You're going to save money you're going to think about it properly from the start. That's how you think about it. Annual stakes minimum for the next 15 years. And then if you want to do a little bit more, semi-annually, 15 years. If you want to do a little bit more, quarterly, and then monthly, right? That's how you look at it.
Could we break down this chart a little bit?
Go ahead.
So that the information is being properly understood.
Do you want to see the next year?
There's a few things going on in this chart.
Do you want to see the next year? So right here, it's showing you that there's 55 billion hex staked in the hex contract with 169,000 open stakes and 42,000 closed stakes, right?
Okay.
What we know about this number is based on the big payday. Even if you're staked for November, your shit triples, right? If you're staked out 10 years, you get a 5x just from the big payday, right? So what we know, if we go like, all right, let's do from October all the way out to the first year, you just drag and hold and let go, and we go from 55 billion to 22 billion. That's almost half of all the hex that's staked in the contract, right? And we know that triples. So that 22 is going to turn into 66 billion liquid hex to be sold on the market. That's available for sale from any Hexican who's staked that just got a massive amount of payout from Hex's launch phase. And that's bad for the price. Like, the price could crash. And if it doesn't crash, it's because of this reason right here. Tell you about this reason. This is the transformation lobby. You can enter Hex and enter and put Ethereum in and get Hex. Yesterday you got it, or this past day you got it, 65,000 Hex per Ethereum. Well, we can go to the exchange real quick. Hex Uniswap. I understand. Right, is this version 1, and we put in 1 hex and see that with 1 Ethereum that we can get 86,000 hex. Right. So if I put an Ethereum here, I get 65,000 hex. But there's a referral program, right? And there's a way around this referral program that everyone's known about as long as you've been paying attention, right? You can refer yourself, but if I refer you and you click on my referral link and you put in 10 ETH, I get 20% of that. Okay? You don't lose 20%. The Hex contract just mints an extra 20% of Hex. And because you clicked on my link, you get an extra 10%. But if you click on your own link, you get the 10 and the 20. You actually get 22%. Because the Hex contract mints your Hex plus 10%, and whatever that is, I get 20% of that. So if you want to do the math on how to actually see what you're going to get if you refer yourself all the way up until November, you do 65,302 times 1.32, right? And you get 86.19. All right. So 86.12. It's just dead even. It's dead even, right? But if I want to put in 5,000 ETH, right? We can look down here and see that there's a 33% impact in price slippage. I'm going to move the price 33% if I make that purchase. And I'm going to get 287 million hex, right? Well, what happens if I put 5,000 ETH into the adoption amplifier and I refer myself? What happens if I do that? And so we pull up the calculator and we go, it's 35,302. That was the last rate, so we'll assume that. Right? Mm-hmm. And then we type times 5,000. Right? That's 326 million. We're all like, this is the over-the-counter way to purchase Hex that goes away in November. This is not available to us after November 20th, right? And so this is all the smart people with money who are buying Hex, who are trying to properly get into position, are using this for large purchases. It makes more sense to use the exchange for smaller purchases, but for larger purposes, that's what you want to do. And we didn't even multiply by 1.32. Because if we refer ourselves, our 5,000 ETH buy gets us 430 million hex versus the Uniswap buy that gets us 287 million.
That's a big difference.
That ends. That is eating into our pump. Okay? Because 5,000 ETH into this adoption amplifier would move the price up 33%. And we would all have a price pump. Instead, that's going to the adoption amplifier. So, and then on November, that goes away. So, like, so when all of this hex is created, right, over here, and we see, 66 billion hex being liquid and available, yeah, there might be a dip, but there's also going to, the only way to buy new hex, going forward after this massive spike from the big payday is from the exchange. Then, like, how are you going to buy hex? Like that, you're forced into the exchange to move the price up against you, to make the purchase that you need to make. Hex's store of value mining equipment that never ages and doesn't waste electricity. So if you're mining cryptocurrency, that should mean something to you. Like if you're paying an exponentially larger electric bill with mining equipment that's going out of date, right? And that's how you're making money. And you've got a room secured for just mining crypto because it's hot and it's loud and it's just all this nonsense. Okay, well, we can stake Hex and mine crypto trustlessly in our cold storage wallet with mining equipment that doesn't age and doesn't waste electricity. If you don't think that's a revolution in crypto, like, just keep getting wrecked for a little bit longer. Like, just like you don't see how powerful that is, right? And for all of the influencers, all of the YouTube influencers that want to call this a scam for the past 10 months, and for all of the centralized entities, CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, and Binance, and all the exchanges that wouldn't list us, right? Because they know seriously how powerful this is. This is just code. This is just code, but right. It kind of depends on the quality of the code. And if it's serious code, we saw Bitcoin taught us what that code is capable of doing in 10 years. It showed us what immutable code is. It's indifferent to your bunk ass opinions. It's going to do what it does. So Hex's code is going to keep chugging along day in and day out, and eventually you guys are going to see that it's coming. This is a store of value takeover. Hex will be the store of value heavyweight champion. That's done. It's already happened, right? So what this is telling us, this chart right here is telling us is this hex has to expire, right? So 22 million hex has to surrender that sweet share rate, that initial share rate. And it you can hit that. Yeah, like tear it up, like hit that thing. I don't give a shit. It's like it has to surrender that share rate. And when those shares expire, they're essentially burned. And the one thing in Hex that becomes more rare are these shares, because the share rate only goes up. So when these shares are burned, right, and then this Hex wants to restake for longer, they have to stake longer. They have to stake more Hex for longer to even approximate the share rate. But this right here is going to spike that share rate up dramatically. You know, like we see here that it will take 10,924 Hex to equal 1 trillion shares, right? We type that in 10,924, right? For 1 day, and that is essentially 1 trillion shares, right? That's what it's telling you. But in December, to get 1 trillion shares, you only needed 10,000 Hex. So like, let's just see real quick. Right? In December, like you only needed 10,000 Hex to get you 1 trillion shares. Well, now 10,000 Hex buys you, you know, like 85% of the shares. It's down 15%. Or no, I'm wrong about that. It's down almost 10%. It's just shy of 10% is what it is, right? And what ratchets it up is people ending stakes and receiving the highest ROI. And this right here is the highest ROI the Hex contract has ever seen, because it's not even a year old yet. So this is what is going to ratchet this price up. And so when you stake 10, you know, when you have to stake 15,000 Hex to get 1 trillion shares, well, that's what you got to do now. That's what everyone in the world has to do. They all abide by the same laws,
Yes.
right? So that's what that's going to be. And we don't know how much it's going to ratchet it up. We can see on hexinfo.io a chart. This is the share price chart. We can see like why is it rugged? Look at that. It's rugged, like it doesn't go up right. And what's that little jump right up there right here? What is that? Right? Like that's people ending their stake in the Hex contract going, "Whoa, we got to ratchet the share price up so that if they restake all that Hex and the interest that they got, they won't, even if they stake all their Hex and their interest, they still won't get the same share rate." That's the point. Like you can't game the system by taking your interest and restaking for even more shares to eventually take over the system. That's what it's for, right? But what it does is force you to realize that it doesn't matter where you are, what day it is, today will always be the best day to stake your Hex. Yes. That's what it does in practice. That's what it means. So that's powerful. This is a whole complete financial system that Richard Hart has developed and launched, and there are many, many different narratives that are going to come out and affect crypto from it. I'm telling you right now, I already see them start to permeate. Bitcoin miners have to sell Bitcoin to the tune of $1 million an hour just to pay for the electricity to run Bitcoin, right? We're not talking about mining equipment.
No.
We're not, like, that's an arms race that it created. We're talking about tens, if not hundreds of billions of dollars in just mining equipment. Not to mention electricity. They have to sell that, which is bad for your pump, in order to maintain the network. Well, the sell pressure, that's sell pressure in Bitcoin. That's why it won't go up past like 11, 12, 13, $14,000. And that's a narrative that no one in crypto wants to talk about. Richard Hart's been talking about it. He launched HEX.
Yes.
He designed HEX based on that narrative. And get ready for that narrative. Get ready to hear about how miners are dumping again, which is why the price has gone down. They don't want to talk about it. The reason why the price pressure that comes from HEX is from people who decide, who mint their stakes and go, hey, I can sell this interest that I made not to buy new mining equipment because I was paid in new mining equipment, because HEX is mining equipment. I don't need to sell my HEX for mining equipment. I just got mining equipment, and I don't have to sell my HEX to pay my electric bill. That's not the price pressure. The price pressure is coming from people in the HEX contract that realize a return on investment via passive income, via trustless interest, saying, hey, it's time to sell a little bit and get paid. And then I'm going to restake that for further and make more passive income via trustless interest. That's the supply and demand dynamics of HEX. And that will always be the supply and demand of dynamics of HEX going forward into the future. If you don't see the potential in that, if you don't see the revolution in that, you're in crypto for the wrong reasons. Okay? You're here for get rich quick, like gains, greed driven, like all that nonsense, and you're not here for the revolution. Well, we're all these Hexicans that see this, who understand the first principle the ideas that are baked into crypto and the reason why crypto is here. We understand those. We understand that decentralization, trustless interest, peer-to-peer, borderless cryptocurrency is the future, which is HEX is all of that and more.
Yes, it is.
And that's why we're staked. And we're going to get paid. We weren't here for the greed. We were here for the revolution. And it's going to benefit. It's going to pay off because we saw it. We saw it first and we acted on it. And after November, when that share price does a 5x, right? Mm-hmm. And you got to stake more HEX that's probably at a higher price point for longer, you're going to learn then and there why you were here for the wrong reasons. And you listen to people, influencers who are paid by shill links, people who try to get you into exchanges to trade and lose money, right? When you can be making passive income via trustless interest on your cold storage wallet and go on about your life and forget about crypto until it's time to end a HEX stake and get paid, right? Yep. That's this revolution. What you got? Yeah, they're gonna scatter like roaches. I'm coming for them. Their gatekeeping and their censorship has cost people, the people who are here now, the people who are saying, look, I'm willing to take a risk with my money. You know, like I'm willing to see about this revolution and where it's going and what it's going to do. And I follow your channel to get the 411. I trust that you're not so biased and so caught up in the nonsense that you're here for the revolution too, and not just to shill your bag, right? You're here to spread awareness about the revolutions that there's dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of revolutions raging in just crypto simultaneously right now. And HEX is one of them. And you've been gatekept from that from day one. You know, like, I'm coming for you. Once it ascends to where it ascends and the code does what the code's going to do, right? And I got an extra 10 grand laying around, I'm going to make these nice little short and sweet videos and advertise them on YouTube and talk shit to all your channels because y'all are garbage. Y'all don't belong in this space. Y'all are complete trash.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'm coming for you. I'm here to tell you that y'all aren't here for the right reasons. Y'all know that you can't talk about Hex for some kind of reason. Y'all are going to get ripped and ridiculed by the trolls on Twitter, or you might lose some subscribers. You might lose the ability to shill affiliate links if you talk too much about you can talk about Tezos. You can talk about staking Tezos if you want to. Okay. Yeah. What do they call it? They call it baking a loaf of bread. We call it a time deposit. We call it a certificate of deposit.
Yes, we do.
That's what the banks called it for the past 100 years. Tezos was invented by bankers. Why don't they call it a time deposit? Because it's a ruse. It's nonsense. That is some corporate bullshit code that is going to get everyone wrecked and waste your time and take your money in the meantime. And that's what you're allowed to shill on YouTube, And that's if you don't get that's if YouTube doesn't cancel you out. I know you all got pressure. I'm coming for you, though. You don't believe in truth. You believe in censorship. You looked at what all of crypto and everyone was doing to Hex for a whole year while it didn't crash, while it stayed up 100% uptime. And you're like, yep, they can censor that one. That's okay, and I won't talk about it. I'm coming for you. Y'all are going to get the business.
What I have to say is, today is Sunday, October 4th. We talked about a $30 investment for a 555 stake.
Yep.
$30.
Yep.
Okay. That is, what's $30? What costs $30?
Man, that's us going to McDonald's.
A $30 investment for a 15-year stake. 15 years seems like a long time. Seems like a long time to me. But think about all the times you wasted $30 or more on something that didn't yield any profit.
Right. Right. Yeah.
I mean, that's disposable money for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
But by putting that in something that will benefit you over the long run, you won't regret it. And I'm talking to those who may be on the fence about Hex. There's plenty of resources out there. In my personal opinion, Hex is the best community in crypto right now.
It is. Yeah.
It's worth it to just take a deep dive into it. The resources are there. Just look around, and you'll see some good information. Those who want to cry out the word scam, if you really pay attention to them, they don't really have much to say, and their arguments are...
They've been debunked since a year before Hex launched.
They are weak.
All those arguments are old. There's a copy pasta in Hex Crypto Telegram that explains in text and video all of the arguments that we've ever heard of around the Hex scam controversy. Like it's so sad now. Like, I keep hearing the same things.
Yes.
They're weakening. They're waning. Like, I'm on crypto Twitter.
Yeah.
I see them. Like, when I first started posting, everyone, oh, it's a shit coin, it's a scam. And now my ads have gotten better. My understanding of Hex when I post in a thread has gotten better, and then nobody refutes it. And then there are people who say, well, what's that? What's that? And I'm like, no, it's this. Here you go. Let's go. And I'm at t.me/crypto model T max, and you can communicate with me directly if you want to get all of the best game theory. This is the whole Hexican community. This ain't just me.
Right.
Like, I'm a part of this, and that's why I'm as good as I am, because this community is amazing.
It really is.
This community is turning into a movement. That's what this community, that's the direction. That's what it was designed from the ground up by Richard Hart for this purpose. We are only going to get stronger. I can see that from day one. But on day 300 and something, like that's all, like it's all evidence. And his actions, his like when someone's words don't match their actions, that's incongruence, right? But when like there are things that he can't talk about because at the end of the day, like Hex is, we're gonna have all this benefit, and it's not even gonna be a security.
Right.
It's not a security. It's like Bitcoin. It popped out of the internet just like Bitcoin did.
It's a beautiful
And so
thing.
it's not a security, and his words, if you can read between the lines, even better. But all you need to do is pay attention to his actions. And the actions of what's going on here is a very, very special moment in crypto.
Yes, it is.
Richard Hart, Satoshi Nakamoto crypto. This is a reiteration of Bitcoin. This is a next level store of value crypto, and it's coming for Bitcoin's market cap. Like that's what a store of value coin does, right? That's what it's supposed to do. And if it's superior, if its code is superior, if everything about it is designed to appreciate in value as it stores value, as it mints you passive income via trustless interest, like you see, that's all you need to know to see, like, oh, this is, well, we can hedge $30 for 15 years.
Yep.
Like, and that's all you got to do before November 20th, and even after November 20th. Like the 5555 ladder is the way to beat the game in Hex.
It is.
Right. So
remember, guys, it sounds like a long time, but $30, $20, $100, money that's easily thrown away by most can change your life.
yeah, money that you would be spending daily on exchange fees.
Oh.
To take your money off, to custody your money, you take a 2% cut. Like you pay that in exchange fees. That could make you not rich but wealthy.
Yes.
In crypto, the highest appreciating asset class in mankind's history, in a store of value currency, reiterated with all of the lessons learned of the past 10 years, baked immutably into this contract, right? On the internet of money, which is what Ethereum is. Ethereum is the internet of money, and 90% of people in crypto don't understand that yet. What? Go ahead.
I would like to say that, when I first heard of Hex, I thought it was an interesting concept, but it took me months,
right,
to start truly understanding what Richard Hart was trying to do.
Right.
Okay, so it's not something that you're just gonna, well, some people may just grasp right away, but it's worth the time and effort to put in to do a little research, to see what the project is about, because it's groundbreaking. There's nothing else like it. There's imitators, and they do a horrible job of imitating it.
Yeah. This is, I see projects coming and going. I see them, like, we've seen so much carnage over this year, and I'm paying attention to crypto at a different level. I'm paying attention to crypto at Richard Hart's level.
Right.
I wasn't able to do that until I started listening to him.
Yes.
Like, when you understand, 50 different facts about Bitcoin, right? How do you order them? Where's the hierarchy? Like, how do you, which fact is more important than the other? Well, the mining component that I explained earlier, that's very important. That needs to go A1, top of the hierarchy. And then one of the next facts that you need to think about is that Bitcoin is centralized because, in fact, 42% of all Bitcoin is held in 2,000 wallets. So when you think it's cool to buy a $10,000 Bitcoin, whose bag are you pumping? That's centralized.
Yes, it is.
Right? Hex is 3 for a penny right now. Store of value mining equipment that allows you to earn passive income via trustless interest. Right? Like, sell that. Sell your $10,000 Bitcoin. like I did. I sold my $10,000 Bitcoin for Hex before the 100x. How much Bitcoin do you think I could buy right now? But then that's staked out 15 years, right? And here's the thing. Here's the thing that people don't understand. When you stake, let's do $1 million. Right? We're going to do $1 million for 5555, right? And, you know, we get this little bigger pays better thing of 666 hex. All right. But this longer pays better incentive seems to be just a tad bit more powerful than the bigger pays better incentive.
Right.
It, in fact, is thousands and thousands of times at this scale way more powerful. Don't pay attention to this. What this means is that you don't have to stake 1 million hex one stake. You can stake 200,000 hex from year 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14, right? And you can get a taste of that million for 5 years straight. But let's say we're going to stake 1 million hex for 5,555 days. And we're going to take a conservative estimate of an average of 100 hex per T share for 5,555 days. Mm-hmm. And let's see what that pays. Okay, so we've got 274 trillion shares that we're going to secure for that amount of time. And that can't change once it's staked. So let's take 274, right? And we're gonna say the average is 100 hex per T share times 100 times 5,555 days daily, because you get paid daily in hex. And you just turned 1 million hex into 152 million hex. And that's just the interest that you got, because this BigPayDay gave you a 5x, right? The BigPayDay gave you think that's nice. It's real nice. You know, a 5x in anything is real nice, but that ain't shit compared to this share rate. This share rate is the most important thing in Hex, because that's how you get paid every single day for the lifetime of your stake. This share rate is way more important than your little BigPayDay. You can see what we're talking about here. So, like, I don't know how to stress that anymore. I think I'm beating it up pretty good. But that's this opportunity that you have here. And it's always going to be here. You know, like even after November 20th, it's always going to be here. But you're just going to have to stake more Hex for longer. And Hex is going to appreciate. Like that is set in stone.
It is.
That's done. Like this is code. Code is law, and that's what just happened, right?
So that's why, you know, it'll be around after November 19th for sure, but if you're on the fence, it may be worth another look within the next few weeks, and just throw a little something in there, you know, and just let it ride, and, you know, it'll be worth it in the long run.
Yeah, like you people in crypto are used to short-term gains.
Yeah,
you know, they're not used to. They don't like. I don't want to stake my money. I like to trade. I like to get. You know, I like the rush of the trade. Right. Hex is an anti-trading cryptocurrency. I'm here to tell you, Hex's code is going to correct all the bad behavior that's going on. I'm not saying exchanges are going away. I'm not saying trading and 100x leveraging is going away. I'm just saying that we're saying sell all your shit coins for this brand new store of value, okay? And then pull it off to where you control it and lock it up immutably on your wallet, trustlessly, where you can earn passive income via trustless interest instead of trading, and go about your life.
Exactly.
And go on and do what you need to do. And you know you're making money. When the price dips, you're still getting paid.
Yep.
No matter what. Every single one of Hex's dips, after I staked out properly, after I learned what the system was about, and I staked out properly, every single dip that came in Hex's Price, which we can see here. This is version 1. We want to go to version 2. Version 2, right? Uniswap.hex.vision, free chart. All the tools and everything like that. This is you can just have this. But every single dip after I was staked out properly didn't bother me.
Right.
I didn't care because I'm staked and I can sell that stake because I'm staked monthly for 15 years, right? And so I can be even reckless. I have 180 opportunities to either win or fail. Each stake that comes through and it gets sweeter every day. Every single month, every single year gets sweeter. Yeah. Every year gets 20% sweeter, right? And so I have all these opportunities to trade or restake or sell or buy or do whatever for the next 15 years with how I'm structured and with how I'm set up in this Hex contract, in this store of value cryptocurrency that doubles as mining equipment, right? So, like, I mean, we're beyond making our point. You guys get it. Everyone understands, and crypto is going to freak out when it realizes that price positive game theory has been baked immutably into a smart contract in Ethereum. Richard Hart said something the other day. He said, Ethereum is a typewriter. He's saying that it's like, you know, you got a typewriter with Ethereum. Mm-hmm. And if you're a poet, you can write, you know, timeless poetry on Ethereum. Or you can write some garbage. You know, like you can write some whatever, jam it in there and put it up on the Ethereum, and it does what it does. Right. But that poetry that's timeless, Hex is poetry. It's immutable law that has been crafted. I'm telling you, y'all ain't ready. You know, you don't, like, take a look at Hex's code. Please take a look at that code and understand that this is poetry on the Ethereum, on the Internet of Money.
Remember, guys, it's been said by a lot of people multiple times. This has been audited 3 times.
Yup. Done. We tried to break it. We paid people to break it.
There's a lot of other projects that people pay attention to that probably haven't been audited once.
Not even that they're not audited, they're not complete. Hex is complete, y'all. Like, we're not talking about, like, it didn't get through audit because it never finished. Like, we don't have that price pressure in Hex where it's like, well, we got to still pay developers a certain portion of the supply so that they can dump every once in a while to get paid to continue writing code. That's also price pressure that doesn't exist in Hex because Hex is complete.
So think of this as being ahead of its time. And you always want to be with something that's ahead and not behind, basically.
Oh, it's light years ahead of where this is going.
And you don't want to be that person who's jumping on late.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in crypto, be early, not late.
You'll still be there whenever you get there. Whenever you realize when Hex is going to be a right opportunity for you, is going to be a good day, because at that day the share rate's going to be what it is,
right? And
that's going to be the best day for you to stake Hex, besides yesterday, right? Like right. That's going to be the best day. And every 15 years from this day, the cycle recycles. The cycle starts over. So if you want to stake a 5-5-5-5 stake, you know that you're maxing out this contract.
Right.
You're going to get the best rate for the longest amount of time in Hex if you understand that a 5-5-5-5 ladder is the only ladder for Hex. That's the secret. That's the share war. That's the Hex share war, is a 5-5-5-5 ladder. It takes 15 years to build, right? It takes if you have to actively build it. I can build a 5-year ladder tonight. I can build a 10-year ladder. I can build a 15-year ladder. What I can't build today is a 5-5-5-5 ladder, because it takes 15 years, and then after 15 years, every single hex stake that I end will have maxed out the hex contract, right? So I have to think about, do I want to build it quarterly? Do I want to at least annually? Every single year for the rest of my life, I will stake a 5-5-5-5 stake, because every single year after 15 years, I know that I want to end a Quattro Cinco stake. That's just, I mean, why not? I can do it. It's available. I can do it from my phone. Well, if you have an Android phone. If you have an iPhone, they don't let you access a DApp browser. They prevent you. They block apps in their app store from letting you access a DApp browser, which is why you need to spend $100 on an Android phone to do this, or get a laptop or whatever. But all right, that's it, guys. We're gonna wrap this up. Thanks for listening. Stake some hex, get you some hex. Follow me on Twitter. At CryptoModelTMax. Hit me up on Telegram if you have any questions. I will talk to you. I will help you through it. Let me know. That's it, guys. Take care.
Until the next time.
Yep.